Thank you for inviting us here today. We are thrilled to be a part of your workshop. Hello, my name is Julie, and this is my name sign. Today I will talk briefly about our project called Documenting the Experiences of the ASL Communities in the Time of COVID-19, or O5S5, which is our abbreviation and our ASL name for the project, which is derived from the signs for document COVID. Document, and then COVID. The hand shapes in those two signs are the letter O, then 5, the letter S, and then 5. So those four hand shapes have those English equivalents of the letters and numbers. And so we've used that to become our ASL name for the project. That's one way we've decided to honor both English and ASL within our project. So, O5S5, what exactly is it? First off, I'd like to be transparent about who we are. So I am an associate professor of linguistics at Gallaudet University. And every year I teach a course called Field Methods at Gallaudet within the linguistics department. So typically we will work with understudied sign languages. And we've been doing that, it's been 10 years for me. And obviously the past 2 years we've been in this pandemic, and so that ability to connect with communities of other sign languages has been a lot harder for a variety of reasons. So the past 2 years we've decided to focus on the ASL communities. One reason being is there is plenty of ASL research left to be done. Also, the reason we say ASL communities is because we recognize that it is made up of many diverse members within the community. Just as there's no one English user, there's no one ASL user. And we recognize that people come from a variety of different backgrounds. So within the ASL community, you can see there's deaf, hearing, CODAs, which is child of deaf adult. There's people that are deaf later in life, L1 users, first language users, those who've learned ASL as their second language, and as well as a variety of social identities, different gender identities, sexual identities, race identities within the community. And so that is what the ASL community is, and that is what we'd like to represent within our research as well. So the reason we're documenting the COVID experience of the ASL community is because, as you can see online, there are a lot of archival projects happening all over the world related to the COVID experience. For example, Michigan Diaries, as we've learned about today, which is a wonderful project, but it has got us thinking, are the ASL or deaf signing communities in the world being represented in these projects? Probably not, and that's for obvious reasons. The modality of sign language is not as easy to capture and document in text or any type of convenient online resource because there is no written system for sign language. And so we understand that a lot of projects are not thinking about that. And that is why we have decided to focus on ASL communities and researching their experiences within COVID, because their stories need to be represented as well. So our data collection is happening through our Field Methods class, which is just a semester long, short 15 weeks. And our data collection is looking around more like 9 weeks long. Our approach really encompasses all of these things. So ethnographic observations, thinking about how we as researchers are involved and the dynamics of working with our participants and how we interact with them. And also we have different methodologies for collecting our data. So ethnographic observations, what we have noticed during the pandemic, as well as collecting data from ASL community members. So bringing them in for one-on-one interviews with our research team, or having them participate in group conversations, or having them send in short video narratives. So either these are happening in person with masks on or over Zoom, typically without masks. And for the narratives, we are just asking community members to send us short videos. So we've been seeing some themes emerge and some things we expected to see. So whether you're wearing a mask or you're on a Zoom screen, what type of language practices are happening? As well as we realize wearing a mask or being emboxed on a video screen is not equivalent to being in person, and especially without a mask on. And so we are wondering what happens in those situations and how our language changes and how we compensate for those types of things. For example, one participant mentioned wearing a mask forces all of your facial expressions to your eyebrows. So a few other themes that we expected to see and we have been seeing. Of course, new terminology, new signs or phrases, or repurposed terminology has come out for the pandemic. So the sign mask, as well as COVID, the sign for pandemic. And of course, we expect to see ideologies as well, related to language practices, communicative practices during the pandemic. For example, what people think about certain signs. For the sign mask has variations as well. It could be like this or this. And a lot of people have certain feelings about those variations in the sign for mask. And of course, there are a lot of different stories about people's experiences during the time of COVID. So as I mentioned, our project values both ASL and English. And so this is our video that we made to send to participants to thank them for participating. So I'd like to show you it all now. It's all of our researchers saying thank you in different ways, wearing their different masks.